Good morning and welcome to the Inglorious Pastords coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada.
We are not.
We're actually in Huntsville, Alabama, and it's going to start picking up that seat on the little bicycle. We never know what Zoom's going to pick up when we're
Yes.
actually in Bruce's office, which is pretty tacky looking, so we blur out everything behind us so that you don't have to see all of that because that will really take away from the effect of the pastors.
Yeah, you and me sitting here. Yeah, every now and then you get antlers in the back from the
From different things, or it'll put an earring on. It'll capture that
right,
little seat came
right.
out.
There's the
There's
little parts of
a
that
little gold
stationary
doorknob
bike that
behind
Bruce
me.
has there, rehabbing the knee injury. Yes.
And the knee is doing really, really
We do not
well.
need that.
It's crazy good. It's lovely. So, right, big week, one of my favorite weeks of all the year. It's putting things on my plate. Antlers. This is not good.
For our audio people, we are our blur technology in the back is selectively unblurring some things that make Bruce look like a moose.
That actually need to be blurred. So we're back now.
And Bruce can't stand to look like a
No,
moose.
a moose. I don't want to be a dweeb. Still gonna figure.
Dweeb. I haven't heard that word in
If I'm
ages.
stationary, then nothing happens.
Okay, let's
Nothing. Okay. This is
mannequin man.
mannequin man. Is no big week, Raj.
What's the big week, Bruce?
Well,
Oh,
it's
it's Masters Week.
Masters Week, and it's also so I love doing. I have this little ritual that I do every year, which is I set up the big TV, my big computer screen right next to each other, and I work on taxes because I hate working on taxes, and the Masters eases the
Take
pain.
something. I worked on my taxes last Sunday, not Master Sunday, and it was painful.
Well, I worked on mine in January. I was going to do it real early this year, but then it looked like we're going to be paying a ton. So I'm like, well, I'm just going to push that back as far as I can.
Why put yourself through that pain
Right.
right now? Then you're got to deal with it for 3 months till
I'm like,
till payday.
I can do it now. Well, there's this whole thing of, I didn't realize this in the rental business, but when you sell a rental property, it's not the capital gains that are getting me.
Yep.
It's the the secret. It's the unrecaptured depreciation.
Yes.
So now they want
I
to
read about this.
unappreciate my house and charge me 25% on the unappreciation of the depreciation for the appreciation when I sold it.
There's a weird thing with that because I was reading on that.
I feel so unappreciated.
Yes, it was this weird thing they do if you're not, yes, they,
Well, if I do a 1031, which means I buy another rental property, I can get out of it.
yes.
So we're looking closely at your house right now because everything's already done. You know, you just buy it and it's
Oh, it's ready. You can
have
rent it.
people move
You can
in.
rent it the next day.
Right, which is important. So
And
I'm
it's
like,
going to be one of those very little maintenance because we replaced virtually everything in that house.
well, that's why we did the greenhouse. Well, as you well know,
Yes,
everything has been redone on the greenhouse.
right.
Even put a whole new front wall in from when the termites got it, which was bad.
Yes, we had fun doing
That
that.
was exciting.
Listen to us. We're house moguls. We own so many properties. We do.
Well, and this is huge news. I do have finally my 30 by 40 concrete pad in. So now I've got a guy in Blunsville who's going to build a 12-foot pole barn on it, and then I'm going to completely frame the whole thing in.
So you've lined up the pole barn?
Yeah, for next week. The
Awesome.
metal building people were 8 to 12 weeks out. It took me 5 months to get the concrete. I don't have that much patience.
One more reason to go with the wood frame versus the metal. Okay.
Yeah. And and I can actually do it cheaper. So I mean, obviously I'm doing the labor, so that's going to be a lot of so,
Whenever your hand goes up to certain places,
if I can just talk and keep my head stationary, everything's fine. Everything's fine.
You can't do that.
I can do it. I
No,
talk
right.
I talk with my face and my
Hands and yes.
I feel so trapped right now. But my pick for the week is not what everyone else is picking. It's Xander Schauffele, who's played well this year.
Okay.
And then I always do a dark horse pick, you know, the unlikely pick, which is going to be Cam Young, who won the Players Championship,
Okay.
hitting the longest drive in the history of the championship on the 18th hole to ensure the win. 375 yards. It's got water all the way down the left side. I don't know if you know much about that course,
No.
the stadium course. Oh my gosh. I mean, just
Wait, it's 375 is the longest yard on that
that's the longest drive on that hole.
drive on that hole. Okay.
Yeah, just on that hole.
On that hole. Gotcha. Yeah.
And it's like a 450-yard hole, and they said like a little flip wedge
Right.
onto the
He used his putter
but
from there.
18 is where a lot of people blow that tournament. They hit it in the water, they hit it in the trees because you got trees on the right.
Yeah.
So it's like you gotta pick, you gotta hit a good shot. He just killed it. I mean, it's really fun.
That is awesome.
I was also noticing big week, NCAA basketball championship.
Yes.
UConn Huskies were 1 win away. This is big because Roger's a UConn fan from winning it all.
Yes.
My only consolation was Michigan won the whole thing after destroying Tennessee, like Houston did last year.
Well, actually, the only team Michigan didn't destroy in the tournament, I think they beat everyone by 20 or more, except in the final game.
Yeah. And
the fact that UConn was even close.
But UConn kept it apparently a very defensive game. I didn't watch any of it, but
right.
In the 60-point range, I mean, that's crazy.
Oh, right.
For a Michigan team.
Right.
They set the pace. They didn't let them go on 20-0 runs and stuff like that, or at least I'm assuming I didn't watch the game.
So both UConn teams were in the Final Four. And
UCLA won for the ladies.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the UConn, on that regard, has what I think is the unbeatable record. I mean, a record that can't be topped is the record for two men and women's programs winning the national championship in the same year. UConn's done it twice. Nobody else has ever done it. So, and they had another chance to do it. I just don't see some other team would have to do that 3 times.
Yeah.
Just don't see that record.
Tennessee could potentially do it in 1 year if both teams got like spooled up at the right time. Because the Lady Vols are always pretty good.
Right.
The Vols have been lately pretty good. Elite 8 team,
but the Lady Vols now are in a free fall. That is
I read something about them losing all their players.
Except one. Literally, right now their roster for next year is one player. A bunch of players entered
the story, Raj.
Bunch of the players entered the transfer portal. Of course, you got a couple graduating. The trouble is they didn't finish this year well. They were ranked, and then they finished the season with a lot of losses. They made the tournament, lost in the first round, and it got ugly. So anyway,
that's too bad.
It is.
So I picked a song this week, Roger. Certainly you've heard the song. Might have been surprised by the artist.
Well, yes. So great. When you put it that way, is when I saw the title of the song, I immediately knew the song. Had no idea who the artist would have been. I mean, I would never have guessed. But I will say, before you name the song,
okay, try to get that blanket off my head.
So the artist is Cat Stevens. His hit, maybe, I think, came out that same year. Oh, Baby, It's a Wild World. Remember that?
Baby, it's a wild world.
That's Cat Stevens.
Okay.
Came out the same time as your song. But also the other fun thing that I thought was fascinating, because Cat Stevens always gets confused with Cat in the Cradle. People, I think Cat Stevens. He did not.
No, and I had to look it up because I thought the same thing, but then I saw it was Harry Chapin.
Harry Chapin.
That did that song.
But Cat Stevens wrote what I think is probably Sheryl Crow's greatest cover.
The First Cut is the Deepest.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
You saw that?
I saw that. And I didn't realize that he was the guy behind that song.
And it's funny, on that one, he wrote it, sold it to someone before he performed it.
Okay.
They performed it, did well with it. Well, I've had that see that happen before. They're not even necessarily thinking something, but they'll sell a song they have. They'll and someone else makes it big before they do, or even a cover later.
Yeah.
Obviously, Cheryl's cover on that is probably what most people associate with that song.
I would have not known otherwise. I
Right.
assumed Cheryl wrote it.
But Cat wrote it.
Yeah. So Cat Stevens, and I picked this song for a couple of reasons. It's called Morning is Broken. It's just a
For our audio listeners, I'm sorry. Our tech is doing some funny things that are just
there's a random bike seat that keeps showing up next to my head.
Bruce's
Like
blurred
Area
background.
54 alien. It's ridiculous.
What's that growing out of your ear?
I know. And I get the little thing on my head every now and then. So, but I loved it when it first played. It just came up randomly in a playlist. But I loved the piano. The piano reminded me of Keith Green
Okay.
and the way that he sings, and it's just very melodic, a lot of beautiful piano. And its morning is broken, like the first morning. Blackbird is smoking. Is broken like the first morning. And it goes on, but the whole song is about God and creation and Eden and then every day.
Mhm.
And I couldn't help but think of you when I hear that song because Roger has a, and I'll let you tell him, he'll tell you about it, but he has a morning routine that's unlike anyone else that I know. That's just beautiful. But like my morning routine, I'll take the dog for Doug for a walk,
Hmm.
and as I'm going up toward the barn, the sun is always coming up, and I always have the same thing that goes through my head, which is the heavens declare the glory of God.
Hmm.
I love the way it's put in Dallas Willard's book, in Hearing God. He said, um, "The heavens announce." The glory of God. Almost like an announcement on the tee. On the first tee right now, we've got
Yes.
Brian DeChambeau. I mean, it's like it's announcing that God is here,
Hmm.
that the faithfulness of God has been demonstrated once again this morning. And even on the farm on a cloudy day, there's a minute where you can still see the sun as it's coming, as it's breaking the horizon before it goes into the clouds.
Yeah.
And it's just that, and that song, it just has, it's haunting because he even talks about Eden's first light and the creator, and then he literally goes into it's really a praise song.
Oh, yes.
Praise for the morning, praise for the singing. It's like,
Right.
oh my gosh.
It's a little, I mean, it's reminiscent in that sense of this is my father's world,
Yeah, yeah.
where I'm just seeing you everywhere and um, noticing and um, yeah.
Oh, was I supposed to take it there?
No, I was just no, my brain was bouncing around to even actually that Sheryl Crow song where she just goes into this thank you and praise um, to God, the one who put the light in your eyes.
Yes.
Anyway, um, but yeah, this beautiful song that, like you said, where so every morning did it again this morning, and a fascinating thing happened this morning that's at least intriguing related to this song. Of course, I didn't know about the song till
This morning.
actually as the morning was breaking.
I picked a song last night. I kept meaning to send it to you. Then I had to call up a client about going to Spain, and then I got lost, and it's never happened.
No, you had one of those. I went into a room to do a thing, did an entirely
Oh, yeah.
different thing, came out, and then realized, oh, that wasn't even why I went into that room.
So this is great. Now that I'm not that far gone yet, I'll go in the room and then stop and go, why am I in the room?
No,
I mean,
no.
I can't remember why.
I'll find another thing I'm
You
doing.
actually do another thing.
I do another thing, and then when it's finished, I come out and oh, actually, I'm going to go back.
We are so old. That's hilarious. No, I mean I have it all the time. I'm where I'll stop. If you ever watch me on the farm, you'll sometimes I'm stopping because I'm like, I know I'm coming for something. I know I'm going for something. What is the thing that I'm going for?
Oh my! Should have written myself a note.
Isn't that terrible? You have to have post-its all over your body to remind you I'm going in here to get a power driver that I have to use on this thing. Now, I have done the thing where I went in for the power driver and came out with another tool because I was thinking about something further in the project that needs done. And then I'm like, oh, shoot,
Got to get that.
totally forgot the power driver. Okay.
No,
So something happened this morning in your morning routine.
well, so every morning very early. I'm usually 5 o'clock, sometimes earlier. I make my cup of coffee and I go sit on my front porch. And I've got to work like whatever the temp is, whatever, I'll bundle it, whatever. I get out there. But this is my I just and what actually intriguingly, this started a couple of years ago. But I just give thanks and I sing it. I mean, I just make up these songs.
Yeah.
Occasionally I'll sing somebody else's song, but I'm just making up and I'm just naming, not unlike,
I love that.
not as beautifully as Cat Stevens, but I'll just be sitting and it's just naming and singing. But it's something like in his song, as simple as the dew,
Yeah.
as the blackbird, um, the passing car, and then there are the more stunning things this morning, the pinks of the sun as it's coming up. Um, but this idea in his song, again, that with each morning, break of the morning is a break of seeing new beauty and new opportunity. I'm going into that day. So this morning, when I got out, 5 a.m., I noticed across the street, across the street from one of my neighbor's houses was a big moving truck with a trailer on the back and a car on it, car hauler. Um, and I was watching, they were doing the final loading into that. All these emotions were being stirred because I've moved a number of times, as you know. Uh, and just thinking of these neighbors who these ones I barely knew.
They're moving out.
Yes, they're moving
Okay.
out. But it's still dark and they're heading out on a new venture. And I was just thinking, like, as they're finishing packing, so they're really at the very last stage, literally, they're packing the last few things inside the car that's on the back of the,
Yeah.
because they've loaded up the truck. And morning hasn't broken yet. It's still dark. Um, and just to watch and realize the morning was breaking on a new adventure for them, on a new, and it's so funny because Joy and I were talking a little bit later, and I was telling her the story of seeing that, and she said, "You love moving, right?" And I said, "You know what moving is?" I said, and this is exactly what's the name of this song at all, but this is exactly what I said. Moving is always an adventure for me. It can be longer than I think it usually is. I have more stuff than I think, stuff multiplied overnight. And we just, in the last few years, and there's no way we have all this stuff. And it can, but I love the adventure of a new place and the opportunities and the possibilities. But then I told you, I said, but I feel that every morning. That's what happens to me every morning. When I sit,
Then that is the point of that song.
yes, when I sit out there, um, it's the dawn of a new morning, and I feel like a new easel. Like this is what. So I'm giving thanks. I'm seeing the wonder, and this is me enjoying God, seeing that beauty and wonder and genius and love, the compassion that's being announced to me. Even again, as the sky began to slightly pink, and to just see, and I'm thanking and thinking, this is this new day. This podcast today, it's a new, okay, this is podcast day, so that's going to be its own kind of, we don't know where it's going to go. We don't know all the places it'll take us. Um, but this is where every morning now feels like, yeah, what his song was saying is if you're paying attention, and this is the thing I just wish I had done far, far sooner in my life. It's happened in the last few years. Oh, now I look forward to the morning and enjoying it with God, but also enjoying the possibilities that are going to emerge and open up.
Yeah. And I think that was what I wanted to talk about today, the reality of it. Well, part of I shared a couple of weeks ago, that I realized, and this was a realization, not a decision, but I realized so much of my theology is built around the four gospels and then the first two chapters of Genesis, the
Mhm.
first morning. In other words, all that God intended
The first one, yeah.
For because he talks about the first morning. It's
Right.
this whole thing.
That was the first day. Evening and
he's
morning were
going
the first day.
he's going back to the very beginning in this and all the things that announce the glory of God in the morning, the birds and the dew on the grass, all of this is
Yeah.
announcing the glory
Hmm.
of God in the morning. And it reminded me of several different things that I want to get better about practicing. So, we celebrated Easter at our house and had a bunch of family over, and that was great. Now I share something, but what I shared this time was, resurrection, Christ being resurrected. It's a reminder for all of us in this room that our story isn't done. In other words, it's not done. You may be going through the hardest thing in your life, and it feels like, gosh, this is just the end of life as I know it,
It
or
feels like
it's a
a different kind of
loss,
death.
different kind of
Right.
death.
Something.
I don't know how I'm ever going to recover from
Yeah.
this, whatever that thing is. But resurrection reminds us that the final word has not been spoken. In other words, it's your story's not done yet.
Story's not
There's a
over.
resurrection that follows death. Well, then I realized listening to the song, I'm like, holy cow, the sun dies every night.
Yes.
And then it's raised every morning, dies every night, raised every morning, announcing the glory of God. I was like, this is beautiful. Then I couldn't help but think about the first morning of the resurrection. It said the ladies go out before it was light. It's still dark.
Hmm.
So on their way to the tomb, they're seeing what we're talking about.
Right.
The first
Morning has broken.
morning
Yes.
is breaking.
Yep.
And then they get there, and it's the stones are rolled away, and of course there's lots of confusion, which then turns to joy that is so exuberant. He talks about praise for elation. He talks about elation in the morning. Do you remember that part in
Hmm.
the song? And
Hmm.
I'm like, the women and their sorrow from hearing Christ dying a couple of days before is now turning into elation and confusion and what's going on and all of that. And they're running back to tell the disciples. I was like, oh, that's crazy talk, and it's like it's just this beautiful. And I want to get into a better morning routine because I realize where I'm different from you right now is I sadly have lots of things to do in the morning. There's like little things to do. Even on the farm, there's things to do in the morning. So Marlene and I are much better about our routine, which is, we get coffee. We're trying to move to decaf. I'm telling you right now, it's not working real well for me
I do decaf every morning.
because I am very yawny. But we try to have our coffee together and then some Bible time and then some prayer time, which is great. We had a lot of time yesterday because my day wasn't as compressed, which was nice. And then I just sort of get to work, but I don't have a break. I don't have a stopping point to just enjoy the morning.
I've been where I have to. And again, and that's this funny part of the journey of I've felt any number of years of my life where I should do. I know I sort of need to, but it's a different where
Yeah.
like going to a Carpenter song. I won't last a day without you. In other words, I won't. It's why for me, the rhythm where I is now is I really can't get into other work or do other. I just decide I've got to, like, I need to, because I know myself well enough to know, like, dare not look on anything on any screen,
Yeah.
but even like, I felt the pull at some point to check out a sale or some kind of, um, but now it has gotten so much where not just I need it, but I so look forward. Like I don't.
You wouldn't trade screen time for that for anything.
Well, and I don't want like I love work. There are a lot of things I love about work and fixing and selling or the things with or I love my job. I love doing things around. I love cooking. I love all kinds of things, but it's like that. There is something that has become so vital and dear. Like
Yeah.
like I'll go to bed at night
Looking forward to the morning.
looking forward to the morning. Um, which reminds me of that prophet weeping may endure for the night, but joy comes
In the
in
morning.
the morning. And the morning, and this other piece where it's the other part of where God's worked with me with grace. The morning always feels like the new slate. whatever I did yesterday. Now, again, so
Mm.
I immediately run to God for grace now with all
Right.
every time I play the fool. And in just my black brothers and sisters use that for play the fool. Yeah, I play the fool off an awful lot. So but and I'll go to God immediately, whatever. But I've realized what I've always been is like the next day, this is to me the beautiful rhythm of the morning is
Uh,
it is think about God doing every 24 hours, you're going to get a fresh start that's going to start with me reminding you I was didn't sleep all night. The sun's coming up, grace is coming out, faithfulness and mercy are coming out for the day. Goodness and mercy are going to follow you all through that. I'm coming all, um, but wherever, I just think the rhythm of morning, what God gave us there was, yeah, whatever I did, whatever I'd like to erase, whatever I want to redo, well, the morning is you get a redo. It doesn't take away from the
right.
pain I created yesterday, the stupid thing I did, the arrogant feeling but
But what if everyone approached morning like his mercies are new every morning?
oh,
You know,
they're there to meet you.
the whole idea that God forgives us of our sin is this amazing thing, but then we can like resurrect it in our mind. And it's like, nope. But the morning reminds me, because that's the other thing I think of in the morning. God's mercies are new every morning. I'm like, that's just great. That's
And
and I realize that's an analogy in some ways, but it's the idea that every day is a clean slate. It's like I haven't played the fool yet today.
and it's more than a clean slate. Listen to what you're saying. The mercy is already there for where you're going to screw up the day. In other words, mercy, different than grace in one sense. Mercy is for where we screw up.
Yeah.
That's what we give. So God's starting that. Look, I put the beginning of your day, there's some mercy in your bank. At the beginning, the mercies are like
Yeah.
before you screw anything up, before you fall short of anything, I've already got a store of mercy. And I believe that. Like that's where I'm going out into, but I hadn't thought about it quite that way. You just said, yeah, the mercies are new. They're just they're just waiting. And it's just like the Father who's already got all the mercy plan for when his son shows up.
Yeah.
The day the son showed up, the mercy was already stored up. The Father already had plans for a party. He already had the meat planned for the grill. He had the room made. He had the ring set aside and the robe ready for.
Yeah, the coat, dry clean,
Yes,
ready to roll.
ready. The mercies were new that they were ready that morning, and the boy comes home, and the mercy was already there.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And then the grace beyond that, because mercy is he's just letting him back in the house.
Yes,
But Roger's getting a very
that
important
is my
call right
realtor.
now. Oh, a realtor.
It is. I'm not going to take it,
Because
but
Roger is the real estate mogul.
Pam McCastro.
They might want to sponsor the podcast at some point.
I'll talk to them about
I'll
that.
let you
Yes.
talk to them about that. That'll be good. So musically, I love the song. I just love the lilt of the song and the piano, and it reminded me a
Yes.
little bit of Frank Mills and Music Box Dancer and all that, because that was another just fun musical. But it also reminded me very much of Keith Green, the way that he played the piano, because he was like
Yeah.
all over the place, and it wasn't just like, it was just
Yeah. Your
beautiful.
ability with keys. Yeah. That one time you picked up what's his name's keys
And
and
then
Bonnie
I
Raitt's
listen
singing.
to a lot of really good classic rock. I can start picking out the guitarist. That's crazy.
Oh gosh, that's
You
very
you
good.
hear certain sounds in the way that they play it, and
Yes.
you're like, oh, that's Prince. Oh, that's Joe Walsh.
Joe Walsh.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's just interesting.
Yeah.
You get a feel for. It was like it starts with music with voices, like Don Henley's voice. To me,
Yeah.
it's a very recognizable voice.
Oh, but when
Another
you're
one,
recognizing,
what is it McDonald, who sings for the Doobies, who does a lot of backup stuff for other people. Can't remember his name, but when he sings, you know his voice.
yeah.
It's an unmistakable
Oh,
voice.
so many voices, but when you're
But then
getting
you
the
start listening to
instruments for, like again with the keyboard, what you had that one time, that was fascinating.
Yeah, that was by Bruce Hornsby.
Bruce Hornsby. You picked up Bruce Hornsby's
I'm like, that
doing
is
backup
great. on a song that I had
Bonnie Raitt,
that I was not even
that
familiar
you
with.
were not familiar with. I'm sharing this song with Bruce, and Bruce is listening to Bonnie, but he's those keys. That sounds like Bruce Hornsby. And we look it up, and oh my gosh, it was
So
no,
this
you're
this is
amazing.
where I'm not good
I
yet.
so
I
hate you.
can't pick out drummers. There's a way to do it because there are drumming styles, but I just haven't gotten that deep into it yet. I was thinking about our buddy Will at the beach who plays for Evanescence, and
Oh,
I'm
that's
like,
right.
because I've
Yeah.
looked at some of his videos now. I'm trying to get a feel for his drumming, but he's played for so many different bands.
Oh
The
gosh,
bands have different feels.
yeah, I'm sure different ones will be known for certain kind of trills or certain kind of things
Right.
that they, but oh my gosh, that's advanced level stuff.
Yes, if you could pick out like, oh, this guy does cymbals this way. This
Right.
is how I know. Or he's got a tom tom
Or he
thing
has
that he
there's a
does.
signature
Uh-huh.
thing that he or
And
she
I'm sure it
does.
exists.
Right.
I just don't know what it is yet. Or the way that they even, because you actually can tune your drums. Or Donnie Robertson told me about this. You want your snare to have a certain sound. So you can take out the little springs underneath entirely and gives it a very hollow sound.
Okay.
You can spread the strings out, you can bring them closer together. You're getting a different sound with your snare drum that way. The way they tighten the tops on certain drums
Yeah.
gives it a different sound. So it
Okay.
would just be interesting if I grew in my musical appreciation to figure out who is playing drums on that song without knowing the artist,
Yeah.
which is a little which is a little hard because most drummers are with a band. But Will's different in that he's played for so many different bands. I'm like, gosh, he's super talented.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like Vince Gill and the Eagles. Who knew?
I love
That
that.
is such a
Although we were talking the other day that it dawned on me. Now, others listening to me, they're going to laugh because they realize this. It dawned on me how many Eagles songs had a bit of country in it. You called it, what is it, a rock,
rock.
Southern rock. And I'd always just thought of them as rock, but then I started listening because I'm listening. I've got a new CD, Best of the Eagles, and I'm listening to, and it's like there's a number of their songs that would be
Oh,
that
they're
kind of
country
Southern
songs.
rock that have that, and I never associated.
Well, even like Take It Easy is very much, it's like pure country.
Take
It's not
These
even
is
a Southern rock
very.
song. It's just a very,
Desperado's got some of that. Even
uh-huh.
Tequila Sunrise, it's got this. Yeah,
Yeah, Tequila Submarine. Or maybe it's just the title and the way the music goes, but I think of Jimmy Buffett, like Margaritaville. Just has that feel. It's another tequila
yeah.
sunrise.
Are you thinking about drinks?
Which,
Tequila and margarita.
yeah.
A margarita is what you're
Well,
doing.
Tequila Sunrise is also on theme today because it's a sunrise. Although I
That's
think,
so keeping it on theme. I love that.
he's more referring to a hangover. A tequila hangover.
With a lot of
Think about the difference, Roger, between Mercy's a New Every Morning and a Sen hangover. Like,
well, the song is about someone who wants mercy the next morning.
okay,
Because he talks about, yeah, cheating on a friend is such awful. I mean, he's feeling this terrible regret
yeah.
with the morning, and that's what often even people like after. But what
What
did
did
I
I
actually
do
do
last
last
night?
night?
I can't. It's so fuzzy. I
It
can't remember.
probably was not
It doesn't
good.
feel like it was good.
And the fact that I'm sitting in a jail cell probably means it wasn't
That's a
good.
clue. That's a clue that we can work from here. But I think when I listened to the song again this morning and listened to it a couple times, I wanted listeners to start thinking about some kind of morning routine that includes praise.
Yeah, I
Just
love that.
start the day with gratitude. Start the day with praise. Start the day with all the things that you're thankful for. Because I call it ruminating now. I can have days where I'm ruminating about negative things. By that, I mean what I would like to say to this person if I wasn't a follower of Jesus. And I'm coming up with all these things that I want to say, ruminating. And God reminds me, hey, Bruce, you're ruminating. I'm like, okay, I got to stop doing that. It is why scripture says, think about things that are good and beautiful and nice and wonderful and pretty and praiseworthy.
Because it's not our default.
Right. Our default is something that's negative, something that's wrong. But when I do incorporate praise in the morning, and yesterday was just a key example of that. I was just looking at things and experiencing things and so thankful
Yeah.
for everything in my life. When I was talking to someone Sunday. Oh, and they were talking about, their salary range, and they need to do better than that. They want to do better than that. And I said to them, I have never made that much money in a single year in my entire life, ever. Just go beyond that. Marlena and I collectively have never made that much money in a single year in our life. And then I reflected on all that we have.
Mhm.
I'm like, that is just the graciousness of God. I mean, it's unbelievable because people think, man, they must have made a ton of money. They got this really big farm and two houses on it and rental property. And I'm like, no, God just works stuff out. I don't even understand
A lot
it.
of grace.
When I look back on it, I'm like, it sure wasn't a financial plan on my part. It wasn't like I was handling money well. None of that. It was grace upon grace upon grace. And I do want our listeners to know this because I tell people all the time that the teaching of Jesus is true. When you seek the kingdom of God, when you make that your first priority, God takes care of everything else. Jesus said, I tell you the truth, none of you that leaves fields or family, houses or land for my sake and the sake of the gospel will fail to receive 100 times more in this life and in the age to come, eternal life. And I'm
Yep.
like, we've seen that lived out. When we left Chattanooga in 1995, leaving fields and family, houses and
Mhm.
land for the sake of the kingdom of heaven and starting a church in Huntsville that became a journey of starting multiple churches, God has provided not all that we need. He has provided more than
Mhm.
we need, more than we need. And it has created a space for us to be generous. And every time we've been generous, it's not that we're giving to get, it's just God somehow pours that back into our life in other ways. And it's
Works
like
that into that's
it
how.
just works out.
Yeah.
It's like it's bizarre. And so morning just reminds me, because I tell people all the time, there's three things I know about God. There's so much I don't know about God.
Mhm.
God's infinite. I'm finite. By definition, I will never understand God. But I
Mhm.
know three things about him. I know he's good, I know he's love, and I know he's just. And here's the thing, particularly in a world that's gone mad, right? In my mind, a little just crazy. But it's probably been that way forever. The movie that came out years ago, it's a mad, 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 mad,
Yeah,
mad.
yeah.
It's been going on for years. But
Oh, baby, it's a wild world.
I love those three things, that God is good, that he is love, and that he's just.
Mhm.
Because sometimes we look about like the psalmist did, there is no justice. And I'm like, well, you gotta take a long look at this. There's a long haul look. God's in charge.
Mhm.
And God's justice will be served in a loving and good way because that's who he is. It's not
Mhm.
like these are not like adjectives describing God. He
Right.
is justice.
Mhm.
He is truth.
Mhm.
He is goodness.
Mhm.
I mean, even Jesus says, there's no one good but God. I love that. There's nobody else. He is love. So, man, when you wake up in the morning, just those simple things that I can praise God for right there. Just the little that I know about God,
Mhm.
I can praise God for. And it makes my day better. It makes my start better. The other thing about gratitude is you really begin to appreciate all the things that you have. I know you did a face cast last week that was so good about all the songs that have a lyric similar to you never know what you've got until it's
So
gone.
it's gone right.
And it's like, so start paying attention to what you have while it's here.
Because we're so constantly looking at, again, like your friend or like someone who's how much you're not making or what your
Or,
spouse
or
doesn't
what you
have
don't have. Right.
or the experience you've not been able or the job you haven't been able to get or the without naming and saying all the and this is part of if you talk about morning routine, you can now that you can have fun going to all different kind of places. You can different mornings. I don't have so much plan it, but I'll end up having a theme, and I'll just like one morning all the places I've been to in my life, and then another morning I made all
That could take days.
the homes I've lived in or the cars I've owned, or then different people,
Oh, yeah.
different friends, um, jobs I've had. Um,
I
experiences with my kids. But and there's an endless number of you can just end up with a theme for the where you just start, but it's the deliberate seeing what's there in the morning rather than what's not there.
Yeah.
Even with our health, we can focus on what I wish was different, but then I can see,
Yeah.
I can walk, I can still run. Now I have to be careful, but yeah, I still can still. I mean,
I can hear. Oh, I mean, all those things. I can remember some things.
yes,
I can't remember everything. It's back to the walking into the room and going,
not so.
what did I come in here for? No, and it was, I was even, so funny you said that. I was thanking God for some of my high school friends and some
Yes,
of my high school
I've done
experiences
that.
because I was like, there was a song that I heard that talked about you can like it was about a love lost. So it was a girlfriend that it never turned into a marriage and it never turned into a wedding, but this person was thankful that he had that person in his life for that season. And I thought that is a beautiful way to reframe
Yes,
a loss in your life. I
yes,
really wanted it to become my wife. We're gonna
yes.
be married. We're gonna have this then kids together, but he was being thankful. I'm glad that I just
That we
had you
just,
in my
yeah.
life for this season. I'm like, gosh, that is hard to say, but so I started thinking about the people in my life that aren't still in my life, and I'm like, but I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for that season. I'm thankful for the joy
Critical
from that
people that
season.
influence, spoke a word.
I wasn't thanking God for critical people.
Well,
Oh, you mean
try that one morning.
times at critical junctures in my life is what you were sort of alluding to. I see that. Well, it is that it goes back to that what Paul says, give thanks in all things. I'm glad I didn't say give thanks for all things because that to me is a different sentence structure and overall meaning. But in all things, no matter how hard it is, it does ease the pain when you give thanks for the things that you have, that you've
Mhm.
experienced. And it's like the year, 6 years ago when I went in for the MRI and I was like, everyone thought I had a brain tumor. Like, this is it. I just had a profound sense of gratitude as I'm in this MRI machine. I was like, God, I have had such an amazing life. I mean, an amazing life,
Mhm.
great life, amazing friends, family, work, opportunities. It's just been, yeah. So I left there going, yeah, well, if I die, great. I mean,
What
because
a
this has been,
right.
it's been a fantastic ride.
Yeah.
Sorry, we went a little dark there, but um,
I thought it was beautiful.
the point is, I haven't had any caffeine yet this morning. So Roger is going to have to
Apologies.
take us home. Roger, what's your final thoughts on Morning is Broken by Cat Stevens?
I'm like, I don't know when you're listening to this, but yeah, make plan for tomorrow morning. See what the morning offers. Listen to the song, um, by Cat Stevens and
No. Yes. I was thinking Cats in the Cradle. Very good. You can listen to that song too. It's a very good song, particularly if you're the father of a son.
I was trying to take us out and
I'm
you
sorry. I reintroduced a whole other note.
no, that's this is well. You've got you've always got tomorrow morning.
So tomorrow morning, like remember, it's a new day. Thanks. God's announcing himself to all of creation. Enjoy that moment. And the seat in the background.
It just won't go away.
No, I keep,
Constant comic relief.
oh my gosh.